It looks like Sweeps Week has come early this year as all but a few matches during Week 5 ended in lopsided results. Find out who did the sweeping coming right up on Present Arms.
Welcome to Gold League Season 6.
I'm your host, Christian Bullock, aka Meadowhawk. Well, week number 5 played havoc with people's fantasy teams as many of the matches ended in one-sided victories. So let's have a look at the scores. The week started off with some great promise as Maple Freedom surprised everyone, taking #RU into overtime. The battle was a nail-biter coming down to the last few seconds, but #RU was able to snatch the extra point, winning 5-4. Noble continues to recover after their slow start this year by winning 5-1 against Team Rival. And the much-anticipated match between old teammates started off great as Simp and High Voltage split the first map 2-2. However, High Voltage dominated Ghost Town, winning 3 straight to take their match 5-2. And I Love Lamp grabbed some more points for their crucial relegation battle, taking out Game Over 5-2. The second night saw the brooms come out of the closet as it started off with Elevate sweeping 07 to an easy 5-0 victory. 07 needs to figure something out against the top-ranked teams as they have been swept by 3 of the top 4. It almost seems as if a different team showed up for Maple Freedom as they were unable to continue their success on the first night as Synergy defeats them 5-1. Team Refuse remains a dominant force alongside High Voltage as both teams swept the final 2 matches of the night, Refuse taking out Rival 5-0 and High Voltage defeating #RU 5-0. So after 5 weeks, we are starting to see a little more separation between the top teams and the bottom teams. Refuse stays at the top with High Voltage close on their heels, waiting for them to make a mistake. Elevate and #RU sit in 3rd and 4th, both tied at 14 points. And in the battle for relegation, things remain tight. Team Rival and Maple Freedom are tied with 5 points, followed closely by I Love Lamp down 1 point, and Game Over sits in last place with 2 points. This week's highlight of the week comes from arguably the most exciting game of the week. Maple Freedom taking #RU to the edge of the brink. However, Makteb Putin has other ideas. Here's the call.
All Out of Sight needs to do is stay alive for 15 seconds. Putin is looking for him over on the side of the lake. He needs to just stay behind the rocks as long as he can. 10 seconds down. A shot going out from Abrasive. 2 shots now for Godzilla Mode. 5 seconds. He just needs to survive just a little bit longer. Godzilla Mode has his pickup, but Putin taking the kill in the final seconds. #RU finding the victory 5-4. Whoa!
And joining us now to discuss his role as a professional bench warmer for Team Simp is Laps. How's it going, Laps?
Good. How are you doing this week?
Pretty good. So a lot of people from around the league might notice that you haven't really played a lot of games this season or last season for Simp. Why is that?
Good observation. I first want to apologize for anyone who accidentally picked me in the fantasy league. Sorry about that. There was a number of you that actually did that the first week. When I joined Simp, there was always an understanding that my talents were a little bit less than my teammates, and I was deep in the pocket, so bench player, as you stated. It doesn't mean I don't see play. I actually played with the team when we were in China, playing at the World Cyber Arena. But still here, have my value other places.
Were you rusty when you played in China, or how'd those games go?
Season 4, I still spent a lot of time trying to remain sharpened while I wasn't being played on the bench. And I was able to do it. I felt comfortable enough. It was nice to have the butterflies in my stomach from performing once again.
That's good. And seeing as you don't play any games, do the guys from Simp ever cut you in on any of the paychecks or the winnings?
I've always viewed World of Tanks as a hobby. And that's something I do with my free time. I have a different equation in my life that converts time into money. And luckily for me, this is not something where I feel I need to draw money on a hobby. So I enjoy it in my free time. It's an enjoyment for me without money.
That's good. And would you have any advice to anyone who would want to get into the league as a bench warmer or even as a substitute player to kind of get their foot in the door?
I tell people all the time that professional esports teams are a group of friends and people that perform together. And each group has people with different talents. You've got your starters, you've got your tacticians, you've got your showmen, and there's always a place for diversity among a team. It takes a lot more than just awesome tanking skills to run an esports team. It's got to be entertaining for people to watch. So hang in there. Understand that there's people that have strengths and weaknesses, and you can help other people be stronger at what they do, and they can help you do the same.
Well, great. Thanks for joining us, Laps. I hope some people gleaned some knowledge from a professional bench warmer.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Great. And speaking of fantasy points or lack thereof with Laps, let's have a look at the fantasy leagues for this week. T1 Diabetic has moved into first place, taking over from Bad Co, who has dropped a spot, and has Tofu Smurf and G-Forcer right behind him in third and fourth. Your top 7 pros by points per battle are Revenant with his one glorious game played, DeKillzor, Akula V, Oxmathis Pro, Vextrosity, Drogon Pro, and Heavy 20. And it was a crazy battle in the Fantasy 1v1 this week as I took on T Hamlet. The first night was very close, but T Hamlet led by 106 points. However, all the sweeps on the second night might have played into my favor as I came back to beat him by only 46 points. It was a great battle, Tim. I've got a T127 premium tank, 100,000 silver credits, and 7 days of premium heading your way for taking me on. Next week's challenger is Trevzor, the WGLNA admin. Best of luck. I think it'll be another close one. And that wraps up yet another episode of Present Arms. Be sure to catch all this week's action on BattleViewer.com as the leadership and relegation battles heat up. I'll see you next week with all the results, but until then, as always,